So I guess my first question is, it's an easy question. Each of you, could you each give me just a 1 minute, like what does a typical weekday look like now for each of you? Charles, you start.
Yeah, so, with this, you're not prepared. And, relating to what Travis mentioned in the service on Sunday, we weren't prepared. But God's got a plan, and his plan is good, and we just need to pray and understand exactly what that is. So as a parent and a leader, guess what? Because you're not prepared, you put together a plan. You put together what you want to accomplish and how you're going to do it in the period of time that you have. And with the kids, and just know that they're not quite sure what's going on. Why can't we go to volleyball practice, and why can't we go to that volleyball tournament? Well, because we have no control of it. Those decisions are made from people above us. Understanding the severity of this, and people are dying, and so always having communication with them to explain to them, so they understand. Hey, this is what's going on in New York. This is what's going on in San Antonio. This is what's going on. And with that, you need to understand that, it's affecting individuals, it's affecting families, and so on and so forth. So talking about that, and then having a game plan with lessons online, making sure it's done, having a break, and then going out and doing something, getting outside, getting some sun, sitting on the patio. We have this book at home, and it's called The Book of Questions, where we'll sit on the patio and we just ask each other a question, funny questions, serious questions, and we just talk about it. So there needs to be some levity going on in the house as well, and not so strict and not so solid guidelines to go through.
And that's hard. That's hard when you just want to be like, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
And then knowing that you need to be as patient and as a parent, and then with that, try to come up with some suggestions so that they buy in. They have to buy in because they're here. And so, we cook together, say, hey, what do you guys want to make tonight? And we'll spend some time cooking, and then we'll spend some time eating, and then we'll pray, and then, we'll put the dishes away, and then we'll go to the next thing. So just being creative around the home and what we can do. Play basketball, play catch, we play cards, we watch movies, just, having a balance, having a good balance, and keeping God at the center of our lives, knowing that there's going to be an end to this, but God's got a plan, and pray and just know that His grace is going to be with us. I make it sound easy, but it's not. But to get them to buy in, you got to get them to buy in, and once they buy in, things kind of go as planned.
Yeah, Angie, what about you? Tell us in just 1 minute, what does your typical weekday look like with Lainey?
It is quite the opposite. I have to force myself to literally stop with work, just because there's so much coming through on phone calls and emails. Like, it's just nonstop. And there is that really thin line between wanting to help the community and wanting to put your family first. Mm-hmm. And that's really hard right now because it's chaos. But our typical week, typically my time stops on the computer and taking phone calls around 6 o'clock. We'll have dinner together. If it's nice, we try to eat outside on the porch, and just, typical conversations. But, we popped out the Wii the other day. We haven't used the Wii in forever. And it was her idea. She wanted to do Just Dance. And so we were able to get in some exercise. We try to walk in the evening time when the weather is nice, but if it's not, we kind of do what Charles does. Popped in a movie, we have conversations, we play games, card games. Had my stepdaughter and her husband over the other day. We played a bunch of card games and cooked together, and we're just trying to use it as an opportunity to connect in the best way that we possibly can, because it is hard. And I'm opposite in that I'm not very structured. It is definitely a place for opportunity for me. So
that's good. That's good. Kevin and Tara, how about you guys? What does a typical weekday look like now?
Well, I roll out of bed at about 11, and Tara's been at work for 4 hours already, and the twins have already done all their schoolwork, and they've made lunch, and they're cleaning the house. It's really great. Just love it. But the truth is that I get up anywhere between 4 and 5 usually, and I'm in the Word for a good solid hour, and then I start preparing the schoolwork. I have to learn it a little bit first and prepare it and organize it so that they can handle it, that the twins can handle it. I make Tara a cup of coffee every morning before she goes to work. And so, and then she works super hard, and it's incredibly stressful. So it can be stressful for her. But then she gets home, and we walk the dog, we eat dinner together, and then we collapse.
Well, yeah.
Is that enough?
That's good. The latest thing that's been happening that's really important is badminton without a net and using the line on the driveway.
Awesome.
Seriously, with broken badminton nets, with broken badminton sticks, and a broken birdie, and we play badminton on the driveway and have a great time. So that's
Extra challenging.
that's my after school. My after work activity has been badminton. But I think that, yeah, I mean, I think that Kevin's tried to create a somewhat of a routine that makes sense, but like all of that's changing starting tomorrow because just the dynamics keep shifting. So
Yeah.
we're still figuring it out.
Yeah. Eric and Amy, what about you guys? What's a typical day look like now?
Well, it's definitely different than it used to be. I wake up earlier than anyone else because I want to make sure I get my devotions done and have a cup of coffee before it's like, and let's go for it. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but that's the plan. And that's typically how it was anyways. But now when we start, my kids, I've got 2 9-year-olds, so 9-year-old twins, and they have to be on camera by 8 a.m. with their class 2 days a week. So I whipped up a schedule on a dry erase board, which I created with them and asked them. And this was last week, but like you all just said, things keep changing. So last week, there really weren't many assignments, but this week there are, and this week we have times to be on camera as well with their Zooms. So just trying to figure out the schedule. That's how we start the day. And then I get them set up. They know they've got to eat breakfast and be on camera and get their schoolwork going. And I asked, do you have any questions? Let's look at what we're going to tackle today. Let's look at the board. They know they need to check in with me if they have questions, etc. Sometimes I'm not available for a few minutes. I might do one of these, but there's a lot of in and out. There's a lot of in and out because I work from home. And do you want to add to that?
No, I get out about 15 minutes after Amy does. Hopefully she's got coffee going.
It's hours later.
And typically we try to spend some quality time together in the morning as a family. If we can eat breakfast together, that happens most of the time, which is a good thing. And we can do devotions together typically.
Yeah, because he's in town now. Yay!
So that's pretty awesome. And then I typically head up to the office, and the phone calls usually start pretty much immediately in the morning and continue throughout the day. So
the coolest thing is that's been different for us is that Daddy traveled many weeks, Monday through Friday, Tuesday to Friday. We weren't really with him, and now I get weepy. Now that he's here, and we also have another family here, there's a lot more talking, there's a lot more togetherness, but we are having so much fun in the evenings because it's like you have to get out. So badminton, did you say that, Tara? We're doing that too. We're doing backyard badminton and soccer, and I made up a game, bubble tag, which the kids love, and that's good for any age. As long as they can blow, you can play bubble tag. So it's been fun. Yeah.
Lizard hunts.
Oh, lizard hunts are good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, will you guys like collect the lizards with them, or is that like
yes?
Terrarium for them.
Yeah, they'll let them bite your finger and you just